Hello, my name is Asensio Sanchez.
Elizabeth, you're muted.
That was a big fail. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
Okay, let's just keep going.
I'm Francisco Vasquez.
And I'm Laisha Saavedra.
And this is our
This is
presentation.
the causes. Oh, wait. Oh no, you say it because you're
Okay,
doing
yeah, I was got a little confused there. Okay, this is our presentation: causes and pathophysiology of COVID-19. Next slide.
This is the causes of coronavirus. So this is pretty much everything that I came up with or that I could understand. Pretty much what we were all going through and what we have to deal with now. All right, so there's first going to be like mandates, then there's going to be closings, then of course the rules and requirements that now the US has to follow. Okay, so the mask mandate pretty much started on July 2nd. And from there on, Governor Greg Abbott pretty much made a statement saying that you do have to wear a facial covering at all times if you are not able to, I don't know how to talk fast, oh my God, I'm so sorry. If you are not able to withstand like 6 to 10 feet from another person. This also included going to the doctor if you were going out to go to a restaurant, go grocery shopping, anything like that. Pretty much he said that you should stay home, which led to his next mandate was the stay home mandate. Pretty much you should have not left your home if it was not for any essential items, including groceries, shopping for essential things, and also going to work. This was all just to keep Texans safe overall, and especially to stop the virus from spreading. You can switch it. Okay. So population control, pretty much this was everything that we did have to go through in stores and in businesses due to the size of like how big the employees were, how many people could be in the structure all at once. This all had to be limited down. This also included large parties, so weddings, birthdays, and other stuff, big celebrations, all had to be either canceled or withdrawn or from a certain distance. Not a lot of people could have big parties. Be a safe distance. And then if you don't mask, and even if you do have a mask, please, like, it was recommended to wear it. In restaurants, there isn't any more dining, or there was no dining at the time. And if there was, you still did have to wear a mask going in. And some restaurants did while sitting down. Some restaurants say you can take it off. Other places that were starting to limit population control was hospitals, nursing homes, and other places like that. Anywhere that they were caring for people, anywhere that people were sick, they did have to limit certain areas so that they wouldn't get COVID. So this pretty much included large and small businesses. It was more of the non-essential people that had to close down, but due to this, there was a lack of money circulation. So this pretty much caused the coin shortage that we did have in the beginning of the pandemic. Again, with this, so with a lot of like the mom and pop shops, they did do a lot of business cuts. So a lot of people were losing their jobs. They were getting fired, laid off, and stuff like that. With the closures being said, there was closures of schools. So from the middle half of 2020, that school year pretty much was all online, and all churches and all restaurants and pretty much anything else that you would say that you can go on a daily basis was closed because it was not essential and it was not important for you to go to those places unless they had it online. So yeah.
Okay, now we're doing.
I was like, honestly, I don't even know like the transition. I was just kind of waving my hand because I don't know who's controlling.
I was kind of just.
Oh,
Should we just like nod our head for the next slide, or what should we do?
Oh, as soon as you guys are done moving, I think there's a delay though. That's why Elizabeth a couple times was like, go, but I already clicked it. I think it's just a delay for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Steps of the SARS-2 or SARS-CoV-2 infection. This is going to cover the attachment to cells, the method of entry into host cells, the replication of assembly, the processes of new variants, and the aggression of host cells. First off, so the SARS-CoV-2 virus behaves much like its predecessor. It's not very special, and that it relies on the ACE2 receptors in order to bind host cells. The host cells that are most favorable are the ones that are along the throat, the pulmons, and your nasal passage, as well as some parts of the intestines, because they express more of the protein required to enter the cell. The virus binds first to the angioenzyme 2, and after doing so, you can see that it is able to enter the cytoplasm, and it is not detected by certain enzymes and proteins. So this immune system doesn't know it's being compromised, whilst it really is. Once your receptor is bound, the transmembrane protein enters the cytoplasm, and the cytoplasm is filled with random polyproteins to code for the essential parts of the virus. Once that is done, a few moments pass and a replication complex is built, or a replicase transcriptase complex, RTC, to replicate the viral RNA. Once that's done, you see how these viral proteins get to come to the replication complex. And once that's done, you have new variants being created to be sent out or egressed by the host cell through the Golgi apparatus and the endoplasmic reticulum by the essential proteins. The SARS-CoV-2 virus egresses from the host cell by exiting the lysosome. Once the virus variants enter the lysosome, a hypersolution, sort of, where the lysosomes effectively move towards the borders of the cell to be shot out as if it was regular waste of the lysosome, but they're not. Once they've left the lysosome and the cell surface, they are ready to repeat the entire process and keep infecting the host until they lose control of their lungs.
The internet connection was a little unstable, and for my phone, I don't know if you, after this, I'll send you guys the video so you guys can see it. Okay, so modes and media of spread, droplet transmission. I don't think I worded that right. Okay, so it can be transmitted through respiratory droplets that are greater than 5 to 10. Do you guys know that unit of measurement? I know it's mu.
Nanometers?
Nanometers? Would that be it? Okay. Droplet transmission occurs when you're in close proximity of a person who has respiratory symptoms. So those symptoms are like coughing and sneezing, and they can be transmitted if you are if you are exposing your nose, your eyes, and your mouth. Hold on. Sorry, guys, that was my brother. Okay, so contact transmission. So the virus the virus transmission can occur through formites in the environment. And this is direct contact. So somebody who is infected and had contact with say a table, you could easily get infected if you come close to the table. And I really worded this really bad. Okay, I wasn't okay when I wrote this, guys. Okay, so contact transmission. If you're in the immediate environment of the formites from the virus, you can easily be infected. And okay, so surfaces and people, like easily you can touch something, you can transfer it to anything. Oh my God. Why am I so bad at presentations? Okay, backtrack. So an infected person can contaminate any surface that they touch through the droplets that they let out of their mouth, their nose, and as they can be transferred onto you when you come into contact with the surface. Airborne transmission. Now these droplets are small.
I was looking right now. It's a micrometer.
Micrometer? Okay. These droplets are small. They're less than 5 micrometers, and they are able to stay in the air longer than normal. They can last hours in the air, and they can travel lengths, which is why we stay 6 feet apart, because those droplets can reach you, and the mask also helps you keep that protection. So this picture represents how your droplets are initially, but the smaller droplets, they can travel farther and can reach you and also infect you.
The effects of COVID-19 and the body's response to it. The following information is from the coronavirusutah.gov, U.S. National Library of Medicine, and Mayo Clinic. Symptoms of COVID, or COVID's impact on the body. Symptoms of COVID. First and foremost, when an individual comes in contact with COVID, they will either immediately feel the standard symptoms of COVID or be asymptomatic, which is where they don't really have the standard symptoms and don't really have them, and still be contaminated with the virus. The standard symptoms of COVID are fever, cough, loss of smell or taste, muscle aches or chills, sore throat, shortness of breath, runny nose, and nausea. The effects of COVID. The lungs are a primary target of COVID and are heavily affected by the disease as it attacks lung cells, thus making it hard for ill individuals to breathe and can be life-threatening if the infection incurs acute respiratory distress syndrome. COVID can additionally make blood cells clamp and make it more likely for blood clots to form, which, if big enough, can cause a heart attack or stroke, while simultaneously affecting the liver and kidney. Long-lasting effects of COVID. A majority of patients who recover from COVID have had some long-lasting damage to their system, including but not limited to their lungs, heart, and or brain. COVID can scar lung tissue, which can cause long-term breathing problems damage to one's heart can result in heart failure. Brain damage can also cause seizures or strokes, no matter what age an individual is. The lasting impact of the virus leaves. I lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. Leaves recovered individuals with many of the same symptoms, such as shortness of breath and cough. The long-term effects can still greatly affect them, as scientists and doctors are still keeping a close eye on recovered patients, as the effects in the long run are still not fully known. Now on to how the body responds to COVID and what it does in response. The immune system responds to COVID. Our brief summary of how the immune system functions. I should have worded that better. Currently, there is no cure or vaccine to COVID, and so the immune system is the only defense in place when COVID enters the body. The immune system is one of the many organ systems within the body that are vital for survival. The immune system functions as a defense mechanism against germs, viruses, and unknown invaders. To combat these pathogens, the immune system releases antibodies such as white blood cells, which travel through the body via bloodstream. The primary purpose of the immune system is to fight disease-causing germs and to recognize as well as neutralize harmful substances. The ways the body defends against COVID. When the immune system comes in contact with the virus or... Oh,
I have to go.
What?
I have to go right now.
Okay, so when do you guys want to record again?
Can we still do it tonight? I can record later on tonight.
Yeah, y'all guys down for tonight? I guess.
Just let me know when, and if we can't do it tonight, are you guys okay with tomorrow?
Yeah, everyone's available. Elizabeth, are you ready tomorrow?